Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adini Aji Shafe. Well, time to look around the world of sports. And this time around, we have to start from home. Super Eagles is becoming a norm right now, where we have a lot of Nigerians actually playing abroad. That are being called, let me say, Nigerians in diaspora now, although those that were born abroad, being invited to play for Nigeria. But right now, coach of Super Eagles, that is Jose Pizarro, saying show maximum quality before you can be invited to play for Nigeria. That is coming from Pizarro. I have in the studio Olawale Peters.
Yeah, good evening, Adini. It's my pleasure to be back to the studio. A good one coming from Pizarro, that the Super Eagles player, they must show quality. But the first question is, does he have the quality as a coach?
Oh my goodness.
That is the first question that he needs to ask.
Maybe I should be his, let me be his my mouthpiece now. he's having so many
He doesn't have the quality. That's to start with. He doesn't have the skill. He doesn't have the competency. He doesn't have the experience. So when he's talking about quality, I wonder what quality is it talking about? That's the truth. Until we know the quality he's talking about, we will now know that this is what he's talking about. Is it a quality that, how many matches has he played? Up to now, do you still have a pattern of play, a style of play? With the number of matches that he has played. Yes, we all know they have to show quality. But shouldn't be coming from him that is qualityless. Let me use that adjective.
Seriously?
Seriously. That's the truth. Yes, about the Super Eagles player abroad, there's nothing wrong in having a blend of both the foreign player and the local player. In fact, if you can find a way of having two sets in our Super Eagles, for every how would I call it? For every position, we should have two players. At least one foreign and one local.
Base. Okay.
For the goalkeeper, let's get one from outside the country, one within the country. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have that, so that we have our local domestic players competing with the foreign player. It shouldn't be an automatic t-shirt for anybody. So that's why you see some people strolling in when it's like 3 or 4 days to commence the competition. But no matter how good you are individually, it cannot win you a competition. You have to work together as a team. So that's what we are lacking right now. We don't have a team. And the team that we don't have doesn't even play as a team. And we don't have a style of play. We don't have a blend of play also. I don't mean by blend of play. You should have like 2 or 3 formations that you can use your first 11 for. In the sense that you are playing a team, and the team you are playing, the best formation to use for them is 3-5-2. If the 3-5-2 is not working for you, without you making any substitution, you should be able to change those players from 3-5-2 to 4-4-2.
At least you have something to fall back on. Something's not going well.
Yes. So you can look at, okay, from the 3-5-2, okay, this midfielder, let the midfielder come back and play defense, because we are leading. We don't have that. We don't have a coach currently now that thinks like that. Yes, we know they must show class, but charity begins at home. Let him first of all show us
that particular
quality that we are looking for in a coach before he can ask. It's like a case of a supervisor that is not up to date in terms of skill and competency than
the workers,
than the subordinates. And you are saying that I don't like your work output, and I'll just look at you and say my own work output or your own direction as a leader. So that's the problem. And most of these players also, they may not even respect the coach. Once they know that the coach does not know what he is doing. So yeah, I agree. They must show class. They must show respect, they must show dedication, they must show commitment, they must be ready to play and serve their fatherland, but charity, you should show that quality first. Now, we started the Nigerian Professional Football League now. Have you ever seen Pizarro watching any of our matches? He has not. And he's sitting down there saying that they must show class, no. He should start by going to the stadium to watch all the matches. When he started, he did boju for us. The more you look, the less you know. It was. I
was the beginning of Boju
Boju. The Boju is the initial gra. When he started, when he came,
we went to watch some matches.
That's why I said he did Boju. So he just did that initial gra. Let me just go and look at. Let me go and watch 2 or 3 matches. Then from there,
so people will be happy that he's watching our local.
After that, what happened again? No, we don't forget in this country. Right now they've played 3 matches. So has he gone to the stadium to watch any of these matches? No, he hasn't. Where is he currently? What is he doing currently right now? I don't want us to talk about Pesero. Sincerely, as far as I'm concerned, we don't have a coach. And for us to get it right, we have to get it right from there. That is when you're going to instill discipline into the squad, into the players. Because most of our foreign-based players, take it or leave it, they don't have that discipline. Discipline in terms of the attitude, their character, their commitment. When they are playing for Super Eagles, let's know that you are playing for Nigeria. Today, I feel very happy because I'm wearing the jersey of NFF, made in Nigeria. This is Nigeria. This is who we are. It's not until when you put on something that is foreign that you'll be feeling like them. No, we have to change our mentality when it comes to that. So that's why I think we really need to do. The coach needs to show the example first that he has the quality and he knows what he's doing. And from the report I read also that he's talking about we winning the Nations Cup. He shouldn't come again and give us a fake promise.
He wants to win the one that will become in Côte d'Ivoire.
Yes. He shouldn't give us that fake. No, he shouldn't go there. He shouldn't go there at all because we don't have a team that can do that. That's
so for now, he should just focus on getting the best out of our players.
Let's have a team. Let's have a pattern of play. Let's know we have a squad.
First.
That is what we need yet. First, if you go to the Nations Cup, if they didn't win, and we are seeing the future in the players, we're like, wow, in the next 2-3 years, we should be able to win this. We don't need to win it today. We don't need to win it tomorrow. We need to look at the future of the Super Eagles. Currently now, they are futureless.
What a way to go. They are talking about Super Eagles manager or coach Pizarro demanding for rather quality from Nigerian players that will be invited for the Super Eagles. Right now, Kani Chukwemeka, and not forgetting Tosin Adarabioyo right now. Those two players are standing over there in England, but according to Pizarro, they must show a lot of quality before you are going to be invited to play for Nigeria. According to Olale Peters, the coach himself needs to check himself first. Is he quality enough for him to lead Super Eagles? For us to get it right, we need to have a pattern of football that we need to use at least to play against other nations in Africa or even beyond, for us to do well when it comes to football. For now, Super Eagles seems to be visionless, but we need to get it right and at least get better when it comes to football in Nigeria. Now we move away from football. Let's talk about boxing. A particular boxer called Anthony Olufemi Joshua right now will be fighting against American heavyweight Jermaine Franklin in April at the O2 Arena, precisely on April 1st, thereabout. That particular fight should be happening. But looking at the way Jermaine Franklin actually looks, his height, his build, will Olufemi Joshua be able to knock him out? Because recently he has actually lost 3 fights. He lost and won again against Andy Ruiz Jr. He fought twice, in fact, against Alexander Usyk, and he lost. Now he'll be facing Jermaine Franklin. And can he win this particular fight against Jermaine Franklin? Although Franklin also, it's not as if he has been winning all his fights, but Anthony Joshua right now wants to get a shot again at the heavyweight category. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, I think this is an opportunity for Anthony Joshua to come back to stage. But he seriously needs to do more, because if you look at his opponent, he's taller and heavier than him. And that is the problem that Anthony Joshua normally have. Anytime he's fighting with an opponent that is taller or bigger than him, his leg work, it's very, very, very poor. And if you don't have a good leg work, you won't be able to sustain the pressure that will be coming from such opponents. That is what I think he really needs to do. Then number 2, he needs to learn how to be patient, not to be rushing into fight that I want to knock him out in the next 3 or 4 rounds. No, you have to preserve your energy and make sure that you guide your point judiciously to be able to end the match. So in case if it comes to the jury to make a decision on points, it's not all the matches that will be technical knockout. That's the truth. And the Franklin that is fighting also is like a fight of 2 losers. What do I mean? He lost about his last 2 fights also. So what he's trying to do also, he wants to revive his career.
Of course.
Anthony Joshua also wants to revive his career. So both of them are under pressure. They are not. None of them is having an advantage of, I have an upper hand more than you. The fight is coming on the 1st of April. I pray and I hope Anthony Joshua didn't give us the first April food.
Oh my goodness!
By losing
that fight.
We are going to give him all the necessary support encouragement and prayer, if need be, for him to come back on stage, because we knew what he did for this country, because he's one of those outside that always associating himself to Nigeria and his culture anywhere he goes to. So based on that, he needs our support, he needs our prayer. I'm happy he's not rushing like he wanted to do by fighting
Tyson
Fury in December. But right now it's April, so that means he has a long time to train, plan, and watch his opponents. And we all wish him success come April 1st.
Hopefully, Anthony Olufemi Joshua will be able to at least build on this one to win that fight against Jermaine Franklin, the American boxer, who will be fighting against him at the O2 Arena over there in England come April 1st. They will be fighting, and let's see if that particular fight will actually favor Joshua. Joshua right now at loss against Alexander Usyk and the Ruiz in his career, and he's trying to get back to the ring to see how he can get it better. Although his fight against Tyson Fury is still on hold for the way it is. The two Britons, they might not actually fight themselves. And also the Wilder is also looking at trying to get a place to fight against Anthony Joshua. A lot of activities in the world of boxing, but now let's talk about UEFA. UEFA right now are trying to see how they can block the loophole created because the financial fair play rules used by Chelsea to sign players on long-term contracts. They want to work on it. We saw the contract of Modric from Ukraine, 8.5 years. And from the way it is, they also signed Noni Madueke for 5 years or thereabout, and it's becoming enough that they are giving so much long time to these players. And UEFA are saying, okay, this is going to stop. Before you know it now, other clubs will go into this. What can we do? Let's block this style and make sure we have a cap. Any contract that is more than 5 years will no longer stand. That's what UEFA are trying to do now.
Okay, and it's good that Chelsea is opening the eyes of the UEFA. That's the truth. And that is what happens when you have a businessman as the owner of a club. He's a businessman. Take it or leave it.
He saw it and he took advantage of it.
Okay, this is an opportunity. This financial fair play, I can spread the amount I'm buying the players for 8 years, for 7 years. If I'm doing that, I'm not going to be liable for the financial fair play rule by the UEFA. But if it is for a short period of time, 2 years or 3 years, the money will be more that I can be sanctioned for it. So they capitalize on it, and legally they've not done anything
wrong. In fact, a lot of people are already calling that Chelsea should be sanctioned. By the time they check,
they've done their homework before going into this, and they do it for 2 reasons. Number one, to beat the financial fair play. Then number 2, it's a business in the sense that, like Modric and Co. that they bought recently, I'm sure 1 or 2 of these players in the next 1 or 2 years, they will become a star, and the amount, their market value will double what they bought them. So they are looking at that in the future. Most of these players, they're going to sell them. Currently now they have about 33 players in their squad. So that means a lot of players will go. So they are looking at all these things for the medium and long-term business terms. That is what they are doing currently right now. They've not done anything wrong. They saw an opportunity. That's why they say you work smart, you don't work hard at times. So what they did is they work smart. So
and actually it favored them.
It really favored them, because if not, by now UEFA will have come. Imagine if what happened to Juventus.
Should happen to Chelsea now.
Happen to Chelsea. Their relegation would have been written. 15 points. Where are they coming? Where are they going?
Seriously.
From how many points? It will have been sanctioned. But they try as much as possible not to fall into that trap. So a very good one. We also spoke about the issue of the Morocco and Algeria, in which the Algeria refused to allow the Moroccan team to come through their airspace. At that instant, it wasn't the Moroccan fault, because they did not refuse to honor the invitation. It is the Algerian that refused to open their own airspace for them. And in line with FIFA and CAF rule also, there's no sanction when a team refused to allow the opposition team to come into. So the Algerians also, they look at that, okay, there's no sanction for us.
So automatically they are safe.
So CAF also and FIFA, they'll be looking at this also. That's one thing about law, about policy, is something will not happen for like 10, 20, 30 years.
Before you look for that review, this thing we need to review this.
That's why it is good to review all these policies. yearly, quarterly. I'm sure the next review of the FIFA rule, the issue of the Morocco and Algeria,
they will put it inside now.
Then the issue of the financial fair play of Chelsea, signing a player for 8 years, it will be, and people will also be looking at another thing again. So it's a very good one.
As one policy is actually getting old, the other one is coming in to get that one out. Well, we're talking about Chelsea now, where UEFA are trying to see how they can tighten the loophole where Chelsea was able to sign players for 8.5 years. What a record by Chelsea there. But right now, we'll be quickly looking at the FA Cup, where a particular two teams are yet to play their replay. Now we're talking about teams that Lawal Lefiters love their name, Accrington Stanley. Accrington Stanley battles Boreham Wood. You might look at these two teams as if they are very, very unknown, small clubs, but really, for the fact that they qualify for the third round and now they'll be fighting for the replay. They also played the replay last week, but due to weather issues, they postponed it and now they'll be fighting today. Accrington Stanley.
Accrington Stanley
and Boreham Wood.
Boreham Wood and Accrington Stanley, it will be a very interesting match to watch. Interesting match in the sense that both of them they're not playing under any pressure. There's no star in either team. Both of them are playing for honor to make sure that they get above the third round. As they are right now, they are happy for being where they are.
Attention is even on them.
Attention is on them, and some of their players, they'll be playing for honor. They'll be playing that, okay, let's try, maybe our next match, this is who
and even scouts can get me to a bigger club.
To do it. So that's one beautiful thing about the FA Cup. It brings everybody to limelight. It brings them to limelight. It brings everybody to an open market where people will see them. So I think it's a very good one. Let's see who wins, but Accrington is my team.
Because that Boreham sounds Boreham will. I hope this team will not be boring.
No.
But really, Accrington Stanley versus Boreham Wood. Who wins this game where the two teams really right now are using this to at least popularize themselves? They are getting more fame despite the fact that they are at least fighting for the replay. We see who wins that particular game between them tonight. Now, let's talk about the EFL Cup. EFL Cup will be coming up. There's the semi-final between Southampton to face Newcastle United. A big one between the two EPL teams now. Who will win this particular battle? And if you want to judge on paper, you want to tilt toward Newcastle, but football is never like that.
Yeah, football is never like that, because if not, how can Southampton that they are currently
struggling?
They're not struggling. They are the bottom
of the table.
Of the Premier League, 20
on the log.
On the log from 20 teams. How can they now be playing semi-final? So that means football is not something that it is on paper. That's the truth. But if you look at motivation and dedication, I'm going to give it to Newcastle. They've been very fantastic. They have the best defensive record. Their players are motivated, they are dedicated. They play as a unit. They play as a team. Mass defense, mass attack. You can't really pinpoint that this is the star today and the person will be the star tomorrow. All of them, they are playing for the club. So that's the truth. And the last time I think they won a trophy was in 1955. So it has been a very long time. So I think they are looking at this as an opportunity for them to win a trophy. Looking at the investment that came into the club last year, and you can see the development after the investment month by month. So I think I'll give it to Newcastle to win, but it's not going to be an easy task for them. It's not going to be very easy for them, but I see them definitely winning Southampton tonight. A
big one there, the semi-final of the EFL Cup, the one a lot of people call Carabao Cup, but right now Southampton will be facing Newcastle. Who wins this particular battle? We'll wait for the player to decide. And now let's go to Italy, where we talk about Lazio will be hosting AC Milan over there in the city of Rome. They will be playing against AC Milan, and from the way it is, Lazio, can they hold down the one they call the Azzurri? Well, from the way it is, even though they play over there in Italy, that's the Italian team called Azzurri, but AC Milan, we know how they have a lot of history behind them, but Lazio too, they are not an easy team, and they will be fighting hard against the Rossoneri.
No, I think it's going to be a very tough match. Looking at the table currently in Italian Serie A, with the Juventus jumping from second position to
now they are standing ninth or thereabout.
No, they're about 10, yes, 9-10 on the table. On the table right now. So it's an opportunity for the likes of AC Milan and Inter Milan, Lazio, Roma to move up. That's what they said in our culture here, that if someone no spoil, another person
no go better.
So that's what happens to them. So Lazio will be looking at that as an opportunity that, okay, tonight's match, if you cannot win, let's try and play a draw. Then the AC Milan will be looking at, okay, we've done it before, and this is something that is going to be more like a derby. Take it or leave it. So to me, I will give it 50-50. Both teams, they are informed currently right now. They are doing very well right now. And apart from Napoli, that is already running away with the league, other teams from second position to sixth position is still open because the point in between them is 3 points, 2 points, 1 point, and 4 points. So all tonight's match, it's a point that Lazio will not want to joke with. When they are playing tonight's match, they shouldn't go with respect. They shouldn't respect the AC Milan. They shouldn't allow them to even settle in. From the word "let go," they should pound them with pressure. The AC Milan of 5, 6, 7 years ago is not the same AC Milan of today. So they are going to the match as an underdog, and they are playing at home. They have the crowd, they have the fans as an advantage to support them. So I think AC Milan will spring a surprise the same way Empoli surprised
Inter Milan over there. The same talking about San Siro, but right now it's going to be a battle between Maurizio Sarri, the coach of Lazio, versus AC Milan. Steven Pioli. What will Pioli be doing? Can they do it? Milinkovic-Savic is there. Will Ciro Immobile be adding more spark to that squad called Lazio? We'll wait to see what will happen concerning that particular tough match between Lazio and AC Milan at the city of Rome, where Lazio ply their trade. And now let's go German Bundesliga. Matches will be coming up. Bayern will be playing. Wolfsburg will be playing. We look at those games. Schalke 04 will be hosting RB Leipzig. FC Cologne away to Bayern Munich at the Allianz Arena. Hertha Berlin, they'll be facing Wolfsburg, while Stuttgart travel to 1899 Hoffenheim. Who wins these games? Let's see.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough in the sense that apart from the Bayern Munich, that it's an established team in Bundesliga and also in Europe, and currently they're not finding it very easy unlike they used to do before. That means everybody is matching them this time around. They're not playing them with respect again. They are playing them that if you can do it, 2-2, we can do it. You saw what happened between Leipzig and Bayern Munich, the last match that they played.
Yes, they have to play draw.
They have to play draw. So that shows that nobody's giving anybody respect again. You're not coming to win the match before the match. So the same thing will happen tonight. It's not going to be an advantage to Bayern Munich because they are playing at home. No, it's not going to be an advantage for them. It will be an advantage for all other teams to come out and see what they can do. So it's
dicey now.
It's very dicey currently right now at Bundesliga.
It seems this season, even though Bayern, I think a beat, they actually not at their best.
Yeah, they're really not at their best, and I don't know, maybe it's because of Lewandowski. That's the reason why
they are missing him.
They are missing him. Maybe that's the reason why. But they have Sadio Mane also, who is yet to settle in fully. It's like both Bayern Munich and Liverpool, in one way or the other, they are paying for letting go of their
player,
their best. Take it or leave it.
Sadio Mane.
Sadio Mane, as far as I'm concerned, he has done more than Mo Salah, because he's a goal scorer and he's a selfless player. He worked for the team. So after he left Liverpool, they are yet to get his replacement. The same thing with Lewandowski and Bayern Munich. But I hope they get their bearings soon.
Let's see what happens between those matches that will be coming on the Bayern. That's German Bundesliga. Bayern will be playing home at Allianz Arena. Will they win that game? We wait to see what will be happening concerning that. More of this, those matches will be on. And now we just have to wrap it up on the show. 360 Sport on Trust TV. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
It's my pleasure being here with you, Adeni, talking sport on Trust TV.
Good one there. I am Adeni Aji Shafe, where sport is always business and fitness. Thanks for watching.